First, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth and sincerity. And shout out to Yakim that's out there in the four quarters of the earth pushing this truth. So, anyhow, something that recently happened in the San Francisco camp that I just happened to catch, as we're proclaiming this word on the streets is, because we, are on the so-called suspect terror group, right? That we're, considered domestic terrorists, even though we know that Esau Edom is the domestic terrorist. But they'll never label Esau Edom as the domestic terrorist because he's the one that has the power of the world. So everybody else is a terrorist except for the culprit, the perpetrator himself, because ISIS is nothing more than Israeli secret intelligence services. So, the Israeli state, if you will, is trying to enforce its will upon the Middle East. And so they created this group out of thin air, ISIS. And here at the San Francisco camp, what had happened is we were proclaiming this word on the streets, and then one of them Amalekites said, "Why don't you go to Syria?" And we said back to her, "Your fucking people are bombing Syria because they want us to believe that they're Muslim, aka Ishmael terrorists. But really, truly though, anybody can wear this and make videos. I just proved that. So, proving the point and all that. ISIS is nothing more than an American Israeli invention, and it's been pretty much a reason to go into Syria, because people over here were no longer buying the idea that Assad is using chemical weapons against his own people. They still will try to push that if they could, but so it was about fighting ISIS, fighting these terror groups, right, to try to reconnect to 9/11, which we know the Israelis are the ones that did this, Of course, I'm talking about Amalek, They're the ones that perpetuated 9/11 and all that to make us believe that, a bunch of terrorists got on a plane and, hijacked a plane with pocket knives. They made United 93 and all kinds of movies propagating that, Osama bin Laden videos, which a lot of people had done diagnoses on that, and it's like, well, if you take a look at President-elect Barack Obama, and you take a look at Osama bin Laden, and you can see them actually FaceTiming, or not FaceTiming, but where you can play with the faces and all that, and you start taking the beard off, it looks like President-elect Barack Obama. So that whole thing of Osama bin Laden doesn't exist. He never did exist, because they never showed you the body of the proof. But when Saddam Hussein was hung, pretty much they showed you all that. I mean, everybody's seen that video, right? So Osama bin Laden never existed. The whole thing was nothing more than a hoax. Just like this whole ISIS thing. It's nothing more than U.S. troops in Syria pretending to be ISIS. Because, isn't that interesting? ISIS now all of a sudden has all these Desert Storm vehicles, right? Oh, you remember that? The trucks and the tanks and all that? Things left over from Desert Storm. It's been the United States the entire time, using their leftover war machines. But, putting on masks like that, pretending to be Muslim, if you will. Akbar, and just making videos like that, they want you to believe that this terror group exists, when in fact America's a terror group. And that's why ISIS, pretty much never gets defeated, because America is protected the terror group, because America is the terrorist. ISIS is nothing more than Israeli secret intelligence services. That's what the acronym for. It also happens to be the name of a god, a female deity, So, there's a lot of things around that, but, they want us to believe that, We know that America is the terrorists, and we're exposing these terrorists. And Esau has been made there in the Valley of Jehoshaphat and all around the world. Everybody knows that America supports ISIS, that America is the reason for the ISIS invasion. America is the ones that invade countries and overthrow governments and hire terror groups or whatever they could get their hands on to cause disruptions, to cause the governments to fall, so they could come in and they could install their bases and create their new world order, you know. And Syria is the last one standing for them controlling all the oil in the Middle East, because Israeli state controls everything, and it's really to weaken Iran with an attack on Syria, which is exactly why Yemen's being bombed, because that's another place that also happens to be part of Iran. You know, Iran has interest in Yemen. So that's why you see Saudi Arabia constantly attacking, and Saudi Arabia is nothing more than these Israelis as well. You know, because they're not real Ishmaelites. They're people that pretty much had making a deal with the Zionists, the Amalekites. You know, all these countries had made deals with the devil, and, well, the devil, Esau, has reneged on his contract just like he's always done, just like he's done to our people, just like he always does. You know, he comes in with a swift tongue, sends in a swift messenger to get everybody to declare peace. You know, the peace talks in Syria had just begun. Peace talks are on hold in Syria, you know. It's the same shit, same thing that they did, you know, the so-called treaty. Oh, and they want us to believe their bullshit Thanksgiving story, right? That the pilgrims made peace with the natives, right? That were here. And that's not even true. No, we know the real story about what really happened with Thanksgiving, you know, and that's what it was. And they would hold these celebrations every time they conquered a village. Every time they burned down a village and murdered people, they would often hold these feasts, you know. And so we're coming up on the Sabbath, and like everything else, though, you know, now that we know that it's not every Saturday or every Sunday, as Esau has lied to us, that the Sabbath actually is the full moon and the new moon, you know. We are to keep the Sabbath because we're coming back into our heritage, you know. We were discontinued from our heritage, you know. We had lived like the heathen. We were profane, such as Esau, you know. And that's why a lot of us even look like Esau, Edom, you know, because we were discontinued from our heritage. But like everything else, though, we're coming back into this truth. These are the dry bones that are come to live. You know, blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and the confusion of faces, which are in all four corners of the earth, because we were discontinued from our heritage, you know. But now, coming back into this truth, and so we are labeled, you know, as a terrorist group, as the Black Hebrew Israelites, you know, because that's a label that Esau had put on us, you know. So, you know, you'll hear these Amalekites say, go back to, or go to Syria, you know, which their people are bombing Syria. You know, because they created the terror groups, you know, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, Free Syrian Army, whatever names they want to call it, they're all the same people, and they're not even Ishmaelites. Most of them are Edomites, you know. There are a few Ishmaelites that just want to get paid for doing that and blowing up buildings and all that. Of course there are. But these are invaders. These are not Syrians that are doing it. There was no civil war in Syria. It was all a foreign occupation to try to overthrow the government, to make everybody believe that these are revolutionaries, aka rebel groups, right? Because that's what Barack Obama called it, Syrian rebels. You know, and they all tried to do the same thing with Ukraine, you know. But like everything else, though, the Crimea area defected to Russia. It said, we want Russia protection, you know. And that's all a part of biblical prophecy, you know, because, of course, Esau's been made bare, and everybody knows, though, that Poroshenko and all of them were put in, this puppet government was put in by these Edomites, you know, to pretty much try to take control of Ukraine, but they had failed to do so, because Yahweh has been causing nation to rise against nation, and kingdom has been coming against kingdom. And the prophecy says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, land of Magog. And so we know that that's Russia, pretty much, and its allies, because after they destroy Babylon, you know, of course, they're going to come together to battle against the Most High, because it's going to be Russia that destroys America, because the Most High put it in them, you know, just like he hardened Pharaoh's heart. What we have is a walls of Jericho effect happening. All our enemies that sold us into slavery are now fighting each other because they also want to take it back. They want to opt out of any deals that they have with Esau, especially the whore, Babylon the Great. They're looking to opt out. They're going to use Putin and Russia to do so, such as the BRICS nations and all that. They are opting out because they are sick of America's fucking lies. Because America is nothing more than a fucking liar, and they've been proved to be a fucking liar. And when everything crashes, like you've been seeing Kmart and other places shutting down, Toys R Us, shutting down, downsizing, Sam's Club. It's all because of the fact that they're planning to do more false flags, like the bullshit shooting, which we all know is bullshit. We all know that it didn't happen, and that they're just trying to make us believe that it happened because you got these fucking crisis actors. But what they won't tell you is that Esau himself is the domestic terrorist, even though it's always some white guy who looks disturbed. Because it's kind of hard. Because people already hate us. You see a black, Latino, Native American, people automatically hate us, and they have to make the terrorist look like a terrorist. So what better terrorist than the terrorist himself, Esau, the so-called white man? So that's why, with all these false flag shootings and everything else, you always see a fucking disturbed Edomite, And it's pretty convincing because these Edomites, they are the terrorists, They are ISIS. They are all these things. And like everything else, though, they can make their videos and all that and make us believe that it's real. But it's just nothing more than a dog and pony show. Just like Democrats and Republicans are really not in opposition, they're on the same side. And they're still controlled by Amalek, by Rothschild Rockefeller. So like everything else, though, we're coming back to our heritage, and, now's the time to repent and come back to our true heritage, which is what's happening. We're finding out that we're Israelites, and we're divorcing all these other philosophies. And that's what's happening. And so they're going to do everything they can to try and discourage us. But we know who the real terrorists are. Esau, you have been exposed. You are a fucking liar. You're a piece of shit. And you're fucking going down. And I can't wait till America's fucking destroyed, along with all you other goddamn Edomites. And those of you that ain't destroying this lake of fire, we're fucking putting your ass in slavery. So hope you enjoy your so-called fucking freedom as long as you can. Because soon, the Most High is going to come back, and we're going to fucking kill your ass and put your ass in slavery. Shalom. Hope it's been edifying to all you hopeful elect. Barakatah.
That way he can hurry up and come get us out of here, man. Okay? And that's the day we long for, alright? That's our desire. To see the Lord come back and judge this fucking earth, alright?
Right! It says that in 2 Peter the 3rd chapter, seeing that all these things, basically dissolve, what manners of men shall you be?
Yeah, what manner of man shall you be?
Yep.
And just to quote, the brother quoted it, hey, what manner of man or person should you be? Knowing that this place is going to go down in fire, man. Knowing that there's going to be complete judgment out here. It's going to be a fucking race war, man.
That's right!
Martial law. What's going to happen in martial law?
Man.
There'll be troops out here gunning people, man.
Straight up.
Mainly looking for you niggas, man.
Yeah, Jay doesn't consider that.
Yep.
They don't consider it.
Yeah, 2/3 of our people, they don't consider it martial law. They don't even consider the fear of the Lord.
Yeah.
That's why they're so emboldened in doing wickedness, man. That's why they're emboldened of being homosexuals, just being plain niggas. And what's a nigga, man? Nigga, lying, stealing, cheating, hating your brother. They're all for that. Why? Because they don't feel like there's any consequences to their actions. There's no repercussions.
Yeah, the demonic ass so-called black bitch type. So I wonder what they do when they buy themselves. Talking shit, man. The Lord gonna kill her ass, man.
Hell yeah.
She's like a Handmaid's Tale. All you homos and lesbians, they gonna just put y'all to death.
Yep.
You don't have no use, man. Especially a black woman. See, you so-called black woman, you're high on a lot of people hit list, man.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people, it's like you and the white man, y'all like
neck and neck.
Y'all like neck and neck, man. You offend a lot of people.
Yeah. That's right, man.
Some people are getting tired of that, man.
That's right.
That's right.
They keep going.
This is 2 Peter 3 and 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us word, not willing that any should perish.
Yeah, and a lot of people count slackness. The Lord ain't never gonna come back. He ain't never gonna come get us. He ain't never gonna destroy America. Hey man, the Lord ain't slack, he moving, man. All kinds of prophecies jumping off. You see what happened the other day? They got a fucking shooter that killed 17 people. Alright, these are the days of vengeance, alright? And the Lord coming back to judge this place, okay?
Right!
You got these cops in here fucking with us. Alright? They should be worried about what's really going on.
They gonna arrest the bankers, right?
And this wicked ass fucking city.
Yeah.
Okay? Coming up here fucking with the prophets of the Lord. You know? Go ahead, I'll give you that again.
God, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise.
Yeah, the Lord ain't slack concerning his promise. The promise was that he's going to come get his elect, set us up on high, and judge the heathen that are round about.
He's gonna destroy these faggots.
Right!
That's what it is.
The cops just came up. I already saw it coming, you know.
Yeah, Jake
The little
prophesied it.
homo that was up here, he called the cops.
He's a prophet.
Yeah.
But the scriptures say when a man's ways please the Lord, he make even his enemies to be at peace. They didn't even ask for a statement or nothing like that. They was here for a minute and a half, man. Hey, because you know what? You can't stop this word.
Yep.
Okay? We're out here directly under the orders of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man.
Right.
Okay, so like the scripture's saying, man.
Hey, Romans the 13th chapter. He's not a terror unto them that do good.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're doing good works, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only gonna get off the streets when Yahweh Shema Shai tells us to go.
That's all right. That's
Why
all
don't you
right.
go to Syria? Your people are bombing Syria.
Yep. Goddamn devils. Okay? That's true.
Go get a job. Go get a job.
This is like Psalms 34 and 7. The Lord, the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
Yeah, we fear Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. If we didn't fear the Lord, we'd be like you niggas, taking winter off, taking spring off, taking summer off. We'll be at the house just chilling on the bed, wiggling our fucking toes, man. You wicked ass niggas, man.
That's right. That's
You
right.
wicked ass niggas, man. And the angel of the Lord don't encamp around y'all, because you don't fear him. Okay, the Lord is with us, man. That's why we can come out here and preach his word, curse the damn people out, and then get delivered.
Yeah, and that's why when cops come up, we don't have fear in our heart because
Yeah.
the Lord is with us.
Yes.
When the cops come around, you niggas scatter like roaches, man.
Like last week.
Yeah, like that one nigga scattered.
He wouldn't leave for nothing, man. He was parked in there, but
Yeah.
the cop came. He was like,
Out of there.
all right, brother.
Because he knows he's wicked.
Expectation of the wicked is right. Yeah.
And the Lord will raise up that
Some dope on him.
yeah. Dope, all that.
Hey, but Paul said to set ourselves up as a living sacrifice. So even if how many of the prophets back during the time of the Romans had to go be cast into prison, man?
Yep.
So if they're gonna take us to jail, that's what it is, man. All right. If somebody's gonna come up and pull a gun, pull a knife, all right. Somebody want to come beat us up. Hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna stop us from preaching the word.
The Lord raised up another Israelite. The Lord raised up another man to come. Hey,
ASAP,
right
yeah.
instead, it'd be like he'll be right there.
Quick.
So the Lord raised up another prophet. The Lord said, I have 7,000 prophets, 7,000 men that have not bowed down to the image of Baal. Meaning the Lord, he has men out there. He has the elect out there.
Yeah.
And the scriptures say that your teachers are not going to be backed into a corner anymore. You know, in the past, the prophets, which we believe that we're the prophets, and we say that within meekness, but we also say that in boldness also. Okay? Back in the ancient world, we were put to death. But now the Lord, he ain't going to do that on a mass level right now. No more.
In Isaiah 30.
Yep. 30 and 20. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I was looking for that one. They were driven forth from men. They were hiding in caves.
Job 30.
Yeah.
Job 30.
Yep.
Whatever spirit was, brothers get
Get that in Isaiah 30 chapter. Because that's pretty much what these people want. They want the teachers to be removed into a corner.
Yeah.
It's pretty much, you see us out here, we blow your high.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Because we bring you to reality. Why? Because we're under the orders of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai to come out here and preach, man. And we preach what? Reality. The scriptures is reality. Like people like to say, oh, that was biblical times. No, we're in biblical times right now, man. Bring that out, bro.
This is Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity,
And that's what you get, man. Being in society is the bread of adversity. Okay? Which bread is supposed to do what? It's supposed to nourish you. share we're taken care of, but we still go through adversity, man. It's constant adversity.
Jake's
Went off again? No, you good. Okay. I think it's just the top part went off.
Okay.
Yeah, you good. As long as this is on, that means that it's on.
All right.
All right, it says, and though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction.
Yep. And water of affliction, man. That's this life. That's this life, man.
Yeah.
It says, and though the Lord yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
The teachers, which we're the teachers of the Heavenly Father, we're not going to be removed into a corner anymore. You just push it to the side where we not seen, man. Because hey, give Proverbs the 1st chapter. Wisdom crieth without for voice and I was holding the sheep place. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Go ahead.
You want to finish back on the other?
Yeah, finish in Isaiah.
It says, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but the eyes shall see thy teachers.
Yeah, and people see us, man. That's why we're out and about. People just roll up on us. Hey, I say nigga. Yeah. Israelite nigga. You know? Because we're seen, man. Because the Lord told us to go out here and let our light shine, so that then men could glorify the Heavenly Father through the Son, man. That's why we out here.
Yeah.
Foolishness of preaching.
To save them that believe. Yeah, because people say y'all are fools, y'all are suckers, y'all are idiots. Well, the scriptures say the foolishness of preaching. Because really, the Lord could just wake Jake up, man. We could just program you overnight to be like, to tell you when they drink at night. You could just wake up and be like, hey man, I'm an Israelite, man. I think I'm an Israelite. You can go into the scripture, but the Lord didn't set it up that way, man. Okay. All right, go ahead. Finish that off in Isaiah, though. Yeah, that was still some more. There's still some more. There's still some more. Still some meat on that bone, brother.
And it says, verse 21, and thy ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it.
Right, this is the way, walk ye in it. And who's the way? Give me St. John 14.
God.
So what are we preaching? We're preaching Yahweh Shai, who is the way, man.
That's right.
We're not telling you about our own opinion. Okay, or about, look, this is what you need to do to fix the black community. No, we're preaching the words of the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, we're preaching that the one who was made flesh, the word that was made flesh, is coming back again. Okay, to recover the remnant of his people and to destroy this place, man. And the way to be saved is to walk in this manner, to be this manner of person, man.
Okay.
St. John 14:6.
Yep. This is St. John 14:6. Yahweh said unto him, I am the way.
He said, I am the way, man. So the Lord is the way. Go ahead.
The truth.
He's the truth, man. That's why we say that we have 100% truth. Why? Because we all collectively make up the body of Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
Well, as you people say, the body of Christ. Okay?
And the life.
And the life, man, because this world is nothing but death. Right. This is alternative lifestyle. No, it's a death style, man.
Yeah.
Because all of the so-called alternative lifestyles that you're into, it leads to death.
What is it saying?
Okay, like that damn homosexual that came up, he's gonna die. He's all bugged. That's why he's so bugged out, man. Because he's doing things that are defiling his body, man, and defiling his spirit, man. You eating a gumbo? Oh, like, oh man, my mom's down there in Alabama right now. And let him go. Let that picture be a curse.
Yeah.
You're going into slavery, man. That's right. Okay.
What's gonna kill you?
Like my mom. Let him go, man. Hey, you're just a nobody, man.
Yeah.
Just enjoy San Francisco. Enjoy SF, man. Enjoy SF. No more pictures though, man.
Stop being a cuck.
Yeah.
No more pictures,
Stop
man.
doing that, man.
It's all right. It's all right. He gonna be a little homosexual. All right. Let him do his thing. But yeah, like he thinks it's funny, but you know what?
Yeah.
Yahweh.
Ba'Shem. Yahushua. Shalat. Ash. Wa. Rayam. Al. Atah. Wa. Ka. Yom. Ba'Shem. Hamashiach. Yahushua. Wabanawa. Yahweh. Tuah.
He gets off on that, man. It's San Francisco. He's a young guy. He ain't out here getting women. He ain't getting money. He's taking pictures of other men.
He's a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Square.
Yeah. He's a nobody.
Nobody.
He's a nobody. But yeah, like my mom, she's down there in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh man.
You know, which is Mardi Gras down there. Okay, and what are they doing? Eating all types of abominable foods, man. That's not a lifestyle. That's a death style, man. But that's so-called black culture, man. That's Southern black culture, man. All it does is lead to death.
Death.
But the Lord is life, man. This word invigorates you, man. I know brothers, you came into this truth, you was down and out, man. Like you was on your last legs, you ain't know what the hell to do. But this gave you what? It gave you hope. It gave you comfort, man. That's why whatever happens, we still got hope and comfort that we gonna be delivered. Come on, hit it.
This is John 6:63.
And we have hope that you so-called white people are going into slavery.
That's right.
Why? Because the Lord wrote it in the scriptures, man. That you're gonna have to pay for what you've done. That's right. What you did and what you're doing, man.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? The so-called white man, he's continually a devil, man. He didn't stop. He just got worse, man. Right. He just got more covert. Now he hates you, but he goes online. He hides behind a computer like a coward.
That's right.
Okay?
This is John 60:63. It is a spirit that quickeneth.
Yeah, it is a spirit that quickeneth. And quickeneth means to make alive. Okay? Because we were born again, okay, by the Spirit, man. And that's what made us alive. And we're dead to this world, man.
Right. Yep.
That's why you people, you do all these things, it don't really bother us, man, because they're dead to it. Oh, I'm gonna put you guys on World Star. Oh, I know where you work. I'm gonna show your job. Who cares, man? We dead to this world. All types of clients that see me here, man. What are you doing? I'm reading, preaching.
Yeah.
You know? What was that? Are you in a cult? No, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. None of these brothers are.
Right.
See, we're fully persuaded in our own. The scriptures tell you about being fully persuaded, man. We're fully persuaded. We know what we're saying. This is our belief. This is our faith. Yet we have such strong conviction because the Lord put that strong conviction on us. We know that this is the truth, man. We're Israelites. We're preaching the Bible. If that's your question, we're preaching the Bible. We're preaching that the people on this side, the ones who this society deems as scum, as calls us thugs and criminals, those are actually God's chosen people according to the Bible. And the one you know as God is going to send his son back, the one who the world called Jesus Christ, to deliver these people. And this place is going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles. Huh? In Negos, yeah, in another language, okay, but that's not in our language. That's like an East African language. I think that's in one of the. I think that's in Tigrinya or something. Yeah, go ahead.
What does the Bible say about like Asian people or?
Well, it depends. It depends. So what?
You know what I mean? Like
are you Japanese or Chinese or what?
Chinese.
You're Chinese, so you would be a Moabite according to the scriptures. A Moabite. A Moabite. You're a descendant of Lot.
So am I a blasphemer? Is that what it means?
You're not an Israelite. According to the script, you would be a heathen. Which heathen means country dweller, meaning you dwell outside of Jerusalem.
So it doesn't mean what the English language dictionary says heathen means.
Now heathen means country dweller, and with the infirmment that you're not an Israelite, because these are the Israelites. And so if you're a country dweller, meaning you dwell outside of the city of Jerusalem, right? So you're not an Israelite unless your lineage goes back to an Israelite, because you had a lot of so-called black people in China.
Yeah,
like especially like in Canton, like southern China.
My mom's last name is a West African last name, Dang. Like Luol Deng, the basketball player.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's my last name.
Okay, so you could be.
That's why I was curious. I was like, is there a link between the two? You know?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of. Well, I know, especially in Canton, in southern China, a lot of those people are actually Israelites. So the majority of Chinese that you come into contact with, they're Moabites, but then you also have Israelites over there as well. Because the curse was that the Israelites would be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and my lady, she actually just got back from China and India, and she saw a lot of so-called Mexicans out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of so-called black people out there too.
In 2018, as it is right now, Chinese people from China would prefer to see black Americans than white.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is from my parents' mouth.
Yeah, but you know what? You might be an Israelite. Yeah, you're probably an Israelite. Yeah, you're probably an Israelite. Yeah, like I train people for a living, right? So I come into contact with a lot of so-called races and ethnicities. There's one guy, I believe he's an Israelite. He's a Chinese guy from Montreal, but he's an Israelite. Okay, and there's another guy, he's an Indian. He's so-called East Indian. He's from Bengal, but he's really an Israelite, meaning his lineage goes back to so-called black people that were scattered there.
Because the root is really Africa.
Well, really, it's Israel.
Israel.
It's Israel.
I mean, really?
is Israel. Because people say that the so-called white man teaches that civilization started in Africa, but really it started in the first empires were really in the so-called Middle East, in the Fertile Crescent.
I'm in college right now, and all the college professors are still teaching that.
Yeah, that's what they teach.
When it says in Genesis that he put a plant in the garden eastward in Edom.
Yes.
So that's in the Middle East, right?
Right. That's why the first empire was the Babylonian Empire, which was ran by so-called Ethiopians. That was the first major empire on the earth. Yet it wasn't in the modern land of Ethiopia. It was in what you would consider modern day the modern day Iraq and Iran.
So around
the Fertile Crescent.
The Tigris and Euphrates.
Tigris and Euphrates. And why? And that's the perfect place to start civilization.
Are you familiar with a man named Brother Polite?
Yeah, of course.
Oh man,
Polite.
I'll be honest. I'm kind of ignorant, right? So I've been trying to learn, and that's one of the guys I try to learn from.
Don't. That guy's a rip-off artist.
Yeah,
he's
that's
a rip-off artist
too. But I just wanted to get confirmation. Is he? What is he saying? Is it real?
No. You know what? He doesn't teach anymore. He made a video about 6 months ago. He said he wasn't going to teach no more.
He got the money and left.
He ripped off a lot of people. But you know what? He used to debate with Israelites. And what he did was he spoke against the word of the Heavenly Father. You know what? The Lord killed his daughter, man.
Yep.
He blasphemed.
His daughter died?
Yeah.
One of his daughters.
That's the spirit. Yeah, because you can't do wickedness and expect nothing to happen. You know, which is why
So
America.
he stopped preaching anymore?
No, he stopped teaching. But my brother got a precept.
Yeah. Because you said Africa being the motherland.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually Jerusalem, Israel. This is Galatians chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
That's right, man. Because the so-called black man in America, he's not an African. He's not an indigenous African.
No, he was stolen.
Yeah,
exactly. And so what happened was before our people were in West Africa, we were in Jerusalem. And when the Romans, what happened was the Romans conquered Jerusalem around 70 AD. So there was a war, they call it the Roman-Jewish Wars in history, from roughly 66 AD to 70 AD. And what happened was we lost the war, and a lot of our people got captured and sold into slavery. That's why you watch these movies like Gladiator. It talks about the different fighters. Those are really so-called black men. All right, like you hear about Spartacus. They had slave rebellions in the Roman Empire. Those are actually so-called black men that got conquered. They were Israelites, and then over time it was forbidden for them to be called Israelites. So then they were just referred to like as Romans. Okay.
Can I ask you a question? And it's kind of controversial.
No, let me finish my point, but then you can go ahead and. So then what happened was some of our people got conquered, and then others of us escaped, and we went to Europe, and then we went into West Africa. And so Jerusalem is
Cartesian point.
That's why you see nobody's really fighting over Africa.
Straight up.
People have been fighting over Jerusalem from the foundation of the world, man.
That's true.
You know,
Lord's favorite land.
That's the Lord's favorite land. That's why it has a special vibration on it.
And that's our land. Right. So we got kicked out of our land for not following our power, not following our God. That's why we're in America.
I'm saying, and that's why the Romans conquered us back then, and that's why they conquered us again when they came back as the Spanish,
that's
the
really
Portuguese,
informative.
the English, and so on and so forth, the French, because they came back into power and they conquered us again, and they put us into slavery again, which is why we're here in America. Okay? Because we got conquered by the so-called white man. He conquered us when we were in Europe, and then he came and he conquered our brothers, the so-called indigenous peoples, like these two brothers. This brother's an Ephraimite, he's a Zebulonite, so meaning a so-called Puerto Rican, a so-called Guatemalan.
My mom's Chinese, but my father's Mongolian, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, like, my question, and it's like a racial question, is this. A lot of the information that I've been seeing, things like Brother Polite and like 5%er knowledge.
Bitch ass
lame.
No, that's the
same guy. Yeah.
He hit a blunt, now he got some more courage.
He's mad at himself, man. That's his own thing. But my question is this: all of these things that I've been trying to learn, it seems that there is this energy towards like anti-white, but could you confirm?
Really, it's anti-Esau, because it's not about see white and black and yellow and see these are all classification of races that the so-called white man came up with to divide people. Yeah. So really, it's about your spirit, and your spirit is determined by your lineage, by your forefathers. So we don't judge like, oh, this is a white man. Okay, this is a black man. We say, okay, this guy, he has the spirit of the Israelite. Okay, so you look like a Moabite, but you know what your spirit, you got the spirit of the Israelite.
Right.
Now, are you familiar with the Aboriginal people of Australia?
Yeah.
Right. So if a lot of them were dropped here in America, what would they be classified as?
Shoot.
Like Patty Mills. You familiar? You watch basketball?
Yeah.
So you familiar with Patty
Yeah,
Mills?
he's Australian.
He's an Aboriginal. But
See,
to the unseen eye, you think, oh, this is so-called African American.
No, but he's not.
But he's not. He's an Aboriginal, and he's not African at all.
Yeah.
He's indigenous to that land. So when the Lord set thing up, He set him in that land. Just like a lot of Samoans that have afros. You go everywhere, you're gonna see so-called black people. India, you got Dravidians, you got Dalits, you got different. But in their dark skin, okay, they have woolly hair, but they're not Israelites. Okay. Your nationality is determined by your forefathers, because the so-called white man, he said, okay, you
mean ethnicity?
So what you consider a nationality, that anciently so when you read about a nationality in the scriptures, that's talking about what you would refer to as race or ethnicity. You get what I'm saying? Because now if somebody asks nationality, a lot of people say, oh, I'm an American, or I'm French Canadian, or something like that. But really, according to the scriptures, your nationality is determined by your forefathers. Okay, so that means it's really your race, what you would consider your race today. Okay, so you might, I don't know if you were born here in America.
I was.
Okay, so you're from Atlanta. Okay, so you say, you're from here, but they live in Atlanta too. Okay, so people,
Georgia Baptist, same hospital as Martin Luther King, you know?
So people will say, okay, they'll be like, okay, well, he's an American. That's your nationality. But really, your nationality, I believe you're an Israelite. That's your real nationality. Okay, but you're an Israelite in the corporation of America, mistaken for a Chinese person or a Chinese Mongolian person. Okay, because your national, like anciently, and this is a new thing, because even in the ancient Roman Empire, like you hear about Cleopatra, you think that's a black person. She's really, that's an Edomite. Cleopatra was an Edomite. She was a dark, but from the seed of white man. So if a white man gets with a black woman, that's not a black child, a so-called black child. That's a so-called white child in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. That's an Edomite. Because your nationality is determined by your.
Because in America, we're talking about
one drop rule.
One drop rule.
Exactly. But that's
one drop.
But that comes from what? That comes from white supremacist doctrine.
Yep.
Jim Crow law.
Jim Crow laws. Exactly. Come on.
This is Numbers 1 and 18.
You got that.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month.
Right.
And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
By the house of their fathers. Yeah, because I'm gonna give you an analogy. So I got an apple seed. If I plant it right here, okay, like stomped out some concrete, some grass, and some fields actually there. When it comes to fruition, it's gonna be what?
An apple tree.
Now, if I take that same seed and I drop it in Mongolia, in Inner Mongolia, when it comes to fruition, it's gonna be what?
An apple tree.
Because the man carries the what?
Seed.
Exactly. That word, the word sperm in itself literally means seeds.
Yeah.
It's from the Greek. Sperma.
Sperma.
It's sperma.
Yeah.
It literally. That's what it literally means.
So let me ask you, and this might be a.
Hey, you a Jake, man?
Yeah.
You're an Israelite, man. Yeah. See, you're an Israelite.
With confusion of faith.
Yeah, confusion of faith. Your lineage goes back to Israel. You're one of us.
You got to know what that really
It's
means.
really accurate.
I'll be honest, I don't really know what that means, but I'm trying to learn, you know?
Hey, the Israelites were the only chosen of the Most High. The children of God. None of these other nations are the children of the Most High, man. If you're a child of the Most High, that means you more than got a chance to be saved. Even if you're not part of the elect, you're still gonna be in the kingdom of heaven.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I'm a Chinese man in America. I'm definitely not one of the select. You know what I mean?
No, but you're an Israelite.
Yeah.
You're an Israelite. Now you're an Israelite. That's why. Give me Romans the 10th chapter. That's why you're inquisitive. That's why you're inquisitive. That's why your spirit is spirit gravitates towards knowledge.
Can I get you a hard question?
Yeah, but let me get you a precept real quick. Yeah, because you have a zeal.
You said precept?
Precept.
Could you define that?
So a precept. So we're reading something right here. Well, precept really, when you look it up, it really means commandment, right? When you go into the Hebrew. So I'll read something right here in Numbers, the 1st chapter. But see, when you read the scriptures, you don't read it just all the way down. You'll read something here, and then I'll read and say in the book of Psalms a precept, and then I get the understanding of what it's talking about. So the scriptures is a puzzle. You need the Holy Spirit to really break it down. So something that's written in Revelation, you get Isaiah? Yeah, because something that's written in Revelation, which is the New Testament, links up with something in Isaiah or Jeremiah, which is the Old Testament. To get the understanding, I need to read the precept.
I'll be honest with you. I've read the New Testament, the Old Testament, the Bhagavad Gita, and most of the Quran translated, of course.
Yeah.
And it just didn't resonate with me, to be honest.
scriptures?
Yeah, it just didn't.
You gotta get the understanding.
I thought it's not the literature itself. It's my lack of understanding.
You need somebody to teach you.
Yeah.
Because there's like we had that, and we would try to read when we were younger.
Same thing.
Because you try to get into it, but then you can't because you need the interpretation.
That's what proves he's an Israelite.
Yeah.
Trying to get into the scriptures. Because we all did that. I remember actually opening up the Bible and then getting confused and just closing it back up. But you know, you have an unction, meaning you have that spirit. So I have a.
So you know Trump, he's like all the actions that he's performing is really pushing towards a race war.
It's prophecy.
It's more than him.
It's more than him. Because Trump, the scriptures tell you that the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
That's right.
So everything that's happening on the planet Earth is all spiritual. It's all prophecy. But the way it manifests,
So what you're saying is that this is
it's all the Most High's movie, man. We're all just characters. And like Shakespeare, he had a saying, all the world is a stage and we're just characters, man. Which is true.
So you think he's kind of like a puppet?
He's a puppet of Satan, which Satan is a puppet of the Heavenly Father.
God.
Everything's spiritual, man.
That really is a question of free will. Because if
there is no free will.
There is no
There's
free will.
the illusion of free will.
Yep.
You didn't come over here on your own free will. You might, because there's certain times when people come into the city and they have the intent to do something else, but then they come across
I just got off of work. I grabbed a cup of coffee. I saw you guys.
You weren't thinking about that. But you know what?
Listen, like I know you guys don't know me from
Madam.
Hey, cut it, Jake.
My thing is that I don't just randomly approach people. I've seen it, but I just had questions. You know what I'm saying?
But the Lord sent you over here.
Yeah.
Because it was all spiritual. Because really, you were programmed last night to come over here.
Straight up.
Right? That's what the Lord does. You get reprogrammed every day to do what you do.
It's got like a website or a business card I can take.
We're here every Saturday.
Yeah.
Every Saturday?
We're here every Saturday.
Or as well.
Our brothers are right there, and we're right here.
I'm Johnny Lee.
Your call.
Hey, that's a spirit.
Welcome, brother.
Johnny Lee. Bruce Lee.
Hey, you're Israelite. You're Israelite. You're Israelite.
My name's Johnny Lee.
South Park.
Johnny Lee. Jake. Thank you, man.
Johnny, man. Nice to meet you, Johnny.
We don't ever see you again. Just look. Remember, you're an Israelite. And we're on website. We're on YouTube.
We're here on Saturdays. I get off work on Saturday anyway. So.
Lord's will. I'll see you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
All right, brother.
Shalom.
That's Israelite.
Yeah. That's right.
That's a Jake. That's a Jake. It's a straight up Jake.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
He had integrity. You can tell. Even looking at him, you can tell in his spirit that that's an Israelite spirit. He reminds me of somebody I'm cool with too. I forget. I don't know if the guy like looks like a Moabite or what, but his whole aura is somebody that I'm cool with. I can't think of who right now.
He reminds me of this Vietnamese cat back in Houston, and you will look at him, you will think he's Vietnamese, but he's an Israelite, man. You know, and you know what that spirit, and we were talking about earlier that Black Panther
Yep,
movie,
that's what it really is.
The spirit of Jake is being so heavy pushed upon the people is that now you got Israelite foreigners rethinking like, damn, you know what? They're considering the atrocities that the so-called white man is doing to us, man.
Yeah.
And then those curses are falling upon them also. And then they look at the state of the Israelites and they actually feel empathy towards them.
They identify. Yeah, because they're Israelites. Because their forefathers went through hell too. Yeah. He was talking about his parents. You know, his parents was going through hell, man.
Yeah.
Because them curses father. Matter of fact, give me that in Deuteronomy 28. That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Where do you want me to start at?
Start at 43.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 68, or 28, verse 43, Slash. 28, verse 43. It says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
Yeah, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, man. And that's within thee, meaning live around you. Which like real Moabites, okay? Real Ishmaelites. Okay, they're strangers, okay? They're foreigners. Our people have been here 400, 500 years. My family on both sides, either indigenous or came here as slaves, been here, they go back, man.
Yeah.
Catching hell, man. Yet you'll have a so-called Cambodian come over, okay, they'll get a loan, or they'll set up a donut shop. They get up above us very high, man. Go ahead.
And thou shalt come down very low.
Yeah, and our people, and they tell you the two poorest groups, are so-called, hey, Shalom.
Yeah.
Brother. Yeah, when they teach you the two poorest groups in America are so-called blacks and so-called Puerto Ricans, man. Those are the two poorest, and that's spiritual, Judah and Ephraim, man.
Yep.
Tribes.
Yep, the two-head tribes, right? So it says that the stranger that is within us shall get above us very high, and we shall come down very low, man. Look at our people, man. Look at the condition of our people. Out here on the streets, catching hell, man. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 44, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Yeah, he shall lend to thee. But yeah, when have you seen a so-called black bank lending out money to the so-called white bank? That don't happen, man. A so-called Native, they don't even have so-called Native American banks, man. I've never seen a so-called Mexican, and there's a gang of Mexican so-called, I've never seen a first Mexican national bank. You don't see that. But you see all types of Chinese banks, right?
Yeah, yep,
I've never seen a first Salvadorian. There's all types of Zebulonites out here, man.
Yeah, if through the spirit, they'll try doing that shit back in the home country. Someone will come grab the bag.
Yeah.
Here.
It don't work, man. Why? Because our people are under curses. But the so-called Chinaman, he could go out there and kill it, man. The Chinese is killing the game in Latin America and in the West Indies, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Killing the game. Go ahead, bro.
And thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Yeah, he's leading the company, man. You're just a worker, man. Okay, you go in these jobs. Who's the supervisor? Who's the boss? It's a heathen. All right, the so-called white man's at the very top, and then you got what?
That was good. That's so good.
Okay, then you got what? Then they'll set up a damn so-called East Indian underneath him, or a so-called Chinaman. Okay, and then who's working, man? It's Judah and Issachar, yo. And then they looking at each other all, this nigga, this wetback.
Yeah, they be hot.
Yeah,
all I hear about.
each other.
All I hear.
Yeah, meanwhile the heathens are winning, man.
Yeah.
Fighting for the pennies. Fighting for the pennies.
Fighting over some crumbs,
man.
yeah.
Fighting over the damn crumbs, man. And that's life here in California, man.
Yeah.
It's been like that since I was a kid, man.
Yeah.
Okay? Alright, our people don't own shit. Our people don't run shit, man. But they quick to checking it. Where you from, cuz?
They run their mouth. That's the only thing they
run
run.
your mouth, man. You don't even run that block, man. Okay, the dope that you get, that's from that crooked ass cop that be beating your ass.
I thought they were trying to fight back the block though.
Oh,
the niggas ain't buying
man.
back the block, man.
Come on.
Block will be named after Ptolemy or some shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's Esau block.
Yeah, they'll name it after Frederick Douglass. You know?
Through.
Oh man.
Verse 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee.
Wait, they shall pursue you, meaning wherever the hell you go, they gonna pursue you. Yeah, because you are Jacob. Be like, all right, man, I'm moving to Thailand, man.
Yeah.
Fuck this, man. I'm moving to Japan. Man, you gonna catch hell over there too, man.
Yeah.
You gonna catch. It's gonna be a lighter affliction.
Yeah.
But you still gonna be under the curses.
Even like the Chinese Jake, man. He's catching hell, even though he even has the confusion of faces, man. And wherever he's at, whether he try to escape from the land of China because of persecution and come to America, he's catching hell. That's why he's so inquisitive now and trying to find out. He's trying to find out the truth, man.
Yeah.
And me personally, I hate Moabites.
Me too.
I hate Moabites. But he didn't have a spirit of a Moabite because it's all about the spirit, man.
Yep.
About the spirit.
Be able to discern spirits.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have that Moabite bugged out. I'm a bird look, you know.
Yeah, he was looking that polite, man. That's only niggas.
Yeah.
Only niggas.
What are
Only
you-
niggas get into polite.
what are you
Only
doing?
niggas get in. He was in the black consciousness.
Yeah.
Oh, like Piro. Remember Piro?
Yeah, Piro.
That spirit, a lot of you Northerners, that dude might have been a Gadite or something.
Could be.
Might be a Northerner,
Could
Yeah,
be.
yeah, he probably was a Gadite or something. Because really, you Northerners are really into that, man. That New Egypt shit, man. I mean, a gang of like my cousin, he's a Gadite. He into that, man. Like, he's like an actual Gadite. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like his granddad's a straight up Cherokee dude, man.
Yeah, because they came over here still using those customs of Egypt. That's why they have those pyramids.
Yeah.
And going back into the Assyrian captivity, they still have those customs, you know.
Still in them, man. So yeah, so when a nigga like Light comes out with it, I know a lot of Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, Salvadorians, they're into that, man. Because that resonates with their spirit, man.
Yeah, it does.
Because they was doing that before, man.
Joseph was in Egypt.
Joseph was in Egypt. That's it.
Yeah.
He from Manasseh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. Yeah, but that guy, the curses are pursuing, because really, he could be like, all right, I'm Chinese, but really his spirit doesn't mesh with Moabites.
Yep.
So he can't really just be up in there with them making money being a drone. So that's a curse, man.
Oh shit.
You know, that's a curse, cause you know, like you people call us bums, man. Jake, this brother know I be with him a lot. We be passing up opportunities to make bands, man. And it's not like, oh, I think maybe I could, man. Like, no, man, we could go home and make a call, but we wouldn't be out here, man.
Top level guys.
Yeah,
Top level guys.
We get set up, okay?
They'll set you up.
Yeah, the spirit has we didn't come into interaction with a lot of so-called high-level people, man.
Yeah, the so-called apps that you guys be using on your phone, we train those guys, man. We don't say shit about it, but hey, man, we come in contact with high-level Fortune 500 companies, man.
And they want to put us on, but you know what? Just like him, it won't vibe with our spirit. We can't really be around those people like that, man. And that's a curse, man. Because you have to know, man, that you got to throw away all types of so-called opportunities, man. Because you got to stay in a certain. You got to, You got to lose your life, man. You got to lose your life. But really, it's game, man.
Yep.
Because the Lord got the spirit on us so heavy that we see it's all BS, man. But see, a lot of them Israelite foreigners, they struggle with that, man. They struggle with that.
Because they can't be true dirtbags like these other, like the nations. Even they might be like on their dad's side, they might be all Israelites, you know. Then on their mom's side, they might be like Moabites or whatever, you know. It's like intermingled.
Yep.
Right, but then it'd be like a whole bunch of conflict between the family. Why? It's because they're Israelites on one side and they're Moabites on the other side,
and we don't mix.
And they don't mix, even though you might look the same. And then it proves niggas, man. Niggas can't even get together.
Yeah.
Niggas will rob you. They'll steal from you. They'll pop your woman, and you'll look just like them.
Yep.
So it goes the same. It's the same spirit with the other nations, man. And then even there'll be Israelite foreigners that they look like Moabites, but they be a whole family of Israelite foreigners, because the spirit have it to where it be the mother and the father be Israelite foreigners, but they'll look like a different nation.
Yeah.
Because that spirit vibe, and you know it'd be nothing but conflict.
Yep.
Niggas scheming on each other, so you think that it's all cool. They catching hell, their business is going under, you know, scheming, all type adultery. So now all these things are starting to come to vision now.
Why? Because the curses will pursue you. And then it says, read the last part. It will pursue you, and then I want to get the point.
Yep. It says, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee.
And overtake you, man. Hey, just like OJ, right?
Yeah.
The curses overtook that nigga.
Yeah.
Okay? I remember OJ when I was a kid, he was on Hearst commercials.
Motherfucker.
Okay, he was a National Lampoon. He was the nigga.
Yeah.
What happened? The curses overtook his ass. Joe Lewis. The prom bomber. Everybody loved him. He died penniless.
Yeah.
Red Fox, they took the damn ring off of his ass, man.
Damn.
Why? Because the curses pursued him, and then they overtook him, man. That's why Jake, like some of these Jakes, like this Jake, he could have been balling, man. He could have been in a damn drop top Beamer back in the 90s, in the early 90s. But what happened? Them curses overtook his ass, man. Then he'd be on the streets, bugged out, man. There's a lot of Jakes like that. Like these Jakes, they wasn't always out here, man. They was doing it, man. They had hoes on deck, all that, man. Then them curses, man.
Yep. Story of Jake.
It says, till thou be destroyed.
Yep.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power.
Yeah, because you didn't want to listen to what the Lord had to say, man. Yeah, you want to be a homosexual, okay? A scumbag. So the Lord get your ass, man. Go ahead.
To keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Yeah, and that's what we're supposed to do as Israelites. We're supposed to be keeping these law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, which really none of us keep this, man.
Nope.
So the biggest thing is having faith in Yahweh Shai, okay, and hoping that you're of the elect, man. Hoping that you're covered, man. That your transgressions and sins are covered. Because if not, you're gonna die here in America, okay? And that's why we do this work, man. Because we're moved with fear, man.
Yeah.
We already know what time it is, man. The Lord is real, man. You people, you're all desensitized to reality. We know how the Lord get down, man. The Lord will kill you and your whole family.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, you think trouble's on the block? You think that nigga's hardcore, man? The Lord send them angels on your ass, man. We don't see who the tough guy.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, keep going on that, bro.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder,
And they shall
upon
be
thy
for a
seed.
sign and for a wonder. A sign of what? Of what? Who the Israelites are. In case you're wondering, what? Who are the Israelites? Because the curse is what? That our people will be discontinued from our heritage. Go ahead, bro.
Yep.
just listen, brother. Just listen. Just listen.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever.
And upon thy seed forever, man. Meaning we're continually under the curse, which proves what? Reincarnation, man.
Yep.
Hey, because that's why it says, hey, curse when you go in,
Curse when you go
curse
out.
when you go out, man. From the cradle to the grave, man.
Yeah.
We're catching hell as Israelites. And then you got these other nations come over here, and they're cool though, man. They come over here, they get a nice little tech job. Okay, they try to imitate niggas. All right, they listen to the Tupac. Okay, they're doing this and this and this. But us, man, you be multi-generational and double rock, man. It's the same ass projects, man.
Fucking terrible.
Yep.
Verse,
Go ahead.
verse 47.
Hold on, bro. Yeah. Go ahead. What's your question? Yeah, it's in the scriptures. Yep, because it's in the scriptures, it's in the Bible.
Do you believe like reincarnation like that, like the total reincarnation is the word, or like the whole action and the actions that are happening?
Meaning what? What do you mean when you say that? The actions? It means, reincarnation means back in the flesh. Because what happens is, get Ecclesiastes 12. Yeah. Reincarnate. Reading your back. Yeah, right. Yeah, flesh. We're in the flesh right now. Yeah, we're in the flesh right now. Yes. Well, what happens is, so what happens is the Lord requires your spirit, then you go back up, and then you come back in some other flesh. That's according to the scripture. Huh? You have the same spirit in different flesh. Then sometimes you come back looking similar though. You know?
You might look like a great uncle or something.
Yeah. I got a quick question. Hold on, I'm gonna hit this precept now.
This is Ecclesiastes 12:7. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. And the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it.
And the spirit's gonna return into the Heavenly Father that gave it. Yeah, because people teach about hell. If you die, you're gonna burn in hell. Now your spirit goes back up to the Heavenly Father. And then you come back. Matter of fact, give me 2nd Ezra 14. That's what you got. All right, get Ecclesiastes 3. I know you there. Yeah, 3. Yeah. Brothers know. And then we're going to get that. And then we're going to answer the man's question. All right, go ahead. Oh, you get Ecclesiastes first.
Okay, good.
Yeah, hit that.
It says, Ecclesiastes 3:20. All go into one place. All are of the dust. And
right, like that old saying, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Yeah, because your body itself is made of the same elements that your body's going to decompose to. Okay.
And all turn to the dust again.
There you go, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, man. That's what they got that old term, the circle of life, man. The cycle of life. Go ahead.
Who know of the spirit of man that goeth upward?
Right, the spirit of man goes up. Like we read in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, it goes back up to the Heavenly Father who gave it. Go ahead.
And the spirit of beasts that go up downward in the earth.
And the spirit of beasts that go up downward to the earth. And the spirit of the beast goes downwards because that spirit doesn't need to go back up to the Heavenly Father to be judged. Because the animals are in order, man. The animals get out of order when people make them out of order. Esau in particular, which is why, like, when a man sleeps with a beast, you have to just kill him, man.
Yep.
Okay? This is messed up, man. You messing with these animals, bugging them out, man. They're already in order, man. It's the so-called white man who's butchering them. All right, we're gonna get one more precept, and I'll get you 2nd Ezra 14.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14. I'm gonna start at 34.
Yep. Good. Wherever you want, bro.
It says, therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts, ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy.
After death you will obtain mercy, and he's going to explain why.
Verse 35, for after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again.
That's plain as day, reincarnation. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. That's when you get judged, man. That's right. Go ahead.
And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest.
Right, the names of the righteous are made manifest. It's clear. Because the righteous come back doing righteous things, man.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
Yeah, and conversely, the works of the ungodly shall be declared. Come back as a sodomite, you come back, oh, you retarded. That's because you got judged, man. Oh, real quick, give me St. John, the 9th chapter. So we hammer the point, and then give me 2nd Ezra 7 and 56. Your 2nd Ezra 7 and 56.
I got a.
Did you? Oh, you got a precept?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a precept? Oh, hold on. 56 is a precept. Oh, God. The 2nd Ezra 7 and 56, because we're on a point right now.
This is 2nd Ezra 7 and 56. It says, for while we live and committed iniquity, we consider not that we should begin to suffer for it after death.
When what? When the judgment comes. When you live again. Plan. I'll get St. John 9.
Where do you want me to start at?
From the top.
This is St. John chapter 9 from the top. And Yahushua passed by. He saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin?
Right, so they understood that him being blind was judgment. For what? Sin. Which is what? Transgression of the law. So he said, who did sin? Go ahead.
And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents?
This man or his parents? Meaning what? Because the judgment comes, what? After death. When you live again. So they're like, okay, was it him in his past life, his parents, or is it him right now? And the Lord just jacked him up and smited him when he was like 3 or 4. Go ahead.
That he was born blind. Yahushua answered, neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents,
Go ahead.
but that the works of Yahweh should be made manifest in him.
Right, because he healed the man. Now it's to glorify the Heavenly Father, which you glorify the Heavenly Father through the Son. That's it, brother. Now, what's your question first off?
Yeah.
Now, what's your question?
My question is, it has to do with the verse, but
What's your
I
question?
know the verse, so it's okay.
All right, what's the question?
Would the book of Matthew say Jesus telling whoever the Pharisees not to say that they were related to Abraham, kind of contextualize that even if those with black heritage, African American, whatever, Israelite, African heritage, wouldn't that make it the same thing? Wouldn't it make it the same thing though, where it says, where he's basically saying it doesn't matter that you're related to Abraham? Doesn't matter that you're part of
Who said that? Who said that? No, he didn't. John the Baptist said that.
Oh, okay.
And why did John the Baptist say that?
He said it to.
You got Matthew's the 3rd chapter, right?
Yeah.
that's something.
Yeah, let's go to it. Let's read it. Let's read it.
No, well, real quick, the question is, did John imply that that person's relation to his Hebrew heritage had nothing to do with his salvation? That's what John the Baptist.
He was wicked. No, the people he was cursing out were wicked. Those are the same men that would come against the one who the world's called Jesus Christ. I'm gonna answer your question, as he did his ministry. So then he said, well, look, don't say just because you're an Israelite or you come from Abraham, you're gonna be cool, because it goes deeper than that. Okay? Because the disciples were what nationality? They were Israelites too. They were just Israelites that believed. See, the Jews and the Christians were of the same stock, man. They were all Israelites. The difference being you had Israelites that believed in the Lord and you had Israelites that didn't believe in the Lord. So what John was saying was,
what about Paul?
Paul's a Benjamite. Paul was an Israelite. You know that, right?
He was Roman and Greek.
Yeah, Romans 11 and 2. Get it, buddy.
Let's get it. Romans
Let me ask you a question now. What's your nationality?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Your dad's Puerto Rican? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, you know, a lot of.
That's how I take new. He did. Yeah.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 2.
Start at the top.
Verse 1. I say then, hath Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. For I also am an Israelite.
So this is Paul saying, I'm also an Israelite. Okay? Now, the Mossad didn't cast away his people, yet he has rejected the majority of them, the 2/3, man. Okay? Which is who John the Baptist was referring to, man.
Yep.
He said, who warned you to flee from the wrath to come? He condemned them. Right. He condemned them because going back to Zechariah, the 13th chapter, coming back here in this day and age, they're going to be condemned. They're going to be destroyed.
Right. So
Let me finish it. Let me finish it. Since you brought it up. No.
This is my question.
But you made it. I am, but you made a statement. So now I gotta, because you were like, oh, he's a Roman. So I have to substantiate what I said.
Right.
Because you brought up Paul as if he wasn't an Israelite.
He used to be a top Pharisee and what have you, right?
Yeah. But you brought him up and you said he's a Roman and this. I'm gonna prove that he's an Israelite.
So you have to be black to go to heaven in your theology.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
That's what I'm getting. That's why I'm trying to have the dialogue because I have heard.
Listen, no, you're making. Listen, man, you're making statements. You're making statements, and you're not even asking me. So
I'm asking.
You got a doctrine. You have an idea. Listen. You have an idea. Listen.
Hold up. Can you ask me?
Go to heaven.
Go to heaven.
Go to heaven. What does that mean? What does heaven mean?
Heaven.
What does heaven mean?
God created heavens and the earth.
What does that mean?
Earth and heaven are different places. It means.
What is your definition of heaven? You tell me that.
My definition of
what do you when you say heaven? Like, what does that mean? Do they go back up to the spirit world?
Yes.
Of course they go back up to the spirit world. Everybody goes back up to the spirit world. We just read it.
Do you believe in hell? Do you think everyone?
This is hell.
Okay.
This is hell. Really? Technically,
you know what hell is? Hell is a world heavenly place.
Hell is not a heavenly place. Is America a heavenly place?
Hell no.
America's oh man.
I would say there's evidence of God. I would say this. There's evidence of God's hand on earth. That's beauty, but it's
been corrupted.
It's the devil's.
Yeah.
Okay, is the earth given into the hand of the wicked?
Yes.
Okay, so who's the wicked?
The devil.
Come on, stop playing with me, man. Stop playing with me.
Yeah.
That's an Ephraimite. Hey, you're an Ephraimite, man. You're an Ephraimite.
I've been, I went to New York like when I was 10, and that was the first time I was exposed.
But you're an Israelite. You're a hard-headed Israelite. But you're an Israelite.
But I've been talking to you guys for a long time, man. Hey, I gotta head up out of here, but
Elder Sakaran.
Yeah. Like Judah and Ephraim, man. I'm Judah, you Ephraim, man. You gotta get it together, man.
Sure, man.
All right, man. You welcome here anytime, man.
All right, man.
All right, bro. Shalom. You're an Israelite, Ephraim.
All right, man.
He was all right, man. But you know, Jake,
man.
That's like the apostle says, man. Jake's cool, but you gotta break Jake first, man. It's a tough nut to crack. And then once you break, then Jake's all right. But he knew the white man the devil. He know what it is. He just, I don't know, who knows? He might have a white friend, you know what I'm saying? Or his girlfriend might be an Edomite woman. Yeah, more than likely. So he's like, oh, come on, man. Just use and abuse her, man.
Yeah.
You can deal with the so-called white woman.
Yeah.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Just know that when the time comes, the Lord gonna kill her, man.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, bro.
You'll see her again.
Yeah, you'll see her again, man.
Chamber. Continue on.
Yeah.
It says, want me to start all over?
Yeah. Let's wrap up and we're going. That's the spirit. I want to leave when it was 7, but you know the spirit gonna do what it do.
Do what it do, baby.
Romans 11, verse 1. I say then, hath Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai cast away his people? Yahweh forbid.
Nope.
For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
So he was a Benjamite, referred to as a Jew because the Romans, really it goes back to the Babylonian captivity.
Yep.
we were Judah, Benjamin, and Levi were all referred to as Jews, the kingdom of Judea. Okay. Yeah. So Paul said what? The apostle to the Gentiles.
Yeah.
But he was an Israelite, man. So does that mean Paul was like some Uncle Tom? We gotta wake up the mic. No, man, the Gentiles meaning what? Israelites that had lost their way, and he was perfect for that because why? He spoke Greek. Okay, he was a Roman citizen, so he could maneuver better, and he was more familiar with that culture than say Peter, okay? Or those that were born in Jerusalem. It's all spiritual, man.
You want that?
That's why. What? Apostle to Gentiles? Whatever you want, brother, go.
Israelites scattered amongst.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is Acts chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven.
That's right. And that was for the Pentecost. Okay, that goes back to Deuteronomy the 16th chapter and Leviticus the 23rd chapter. There was 3 main holy days when we had to go up to Jerusalem. And so you had Israelites who were born in different lands that knew that they were Israelites. That used to come back 3 times, and then 3 times a year. And then you had Israelites that had discontinued from their heritage, even even back then, going back to the book of 2nd Maccabees when it was forbidden to call yourself a Jew, man. You couldn't keep the Sabbath day, so if you're not calling yourself a Jew, what would you call yourself? An Antiochian? Like you had the one wicked-ass high priest who proposed that we wouldn't be called, those in Jerusalem, we would be called Antiochians. I forget his name. I think his name was Jason, the high priest.
I believe so.
I don't want to misspeak. But you can read about 2nd Maccabees, the 4th chapter, man. So that's who those Gentiles were, okay? And the so-called white man is in his heaven, man.
Yeah.
All right, he gets to shoot niggas, all right, get a damn vacation, get paid leave.
Yep, get funded.
Get go fund me, okay, for his legal defense. This is the so-called white man's heaven, man.
White man's world.
Yeah. Go around, be a homosexual, be a violent homosexual.
Yep.
Okay, nobody judges his ass. All right.
Yeah, there was an Edomite that got caught for molesting his own children. All right.
There was a DuPont.
Oh yeah, an elite.
Yep.
And then they said he wasn't fit for prison.
Yep.
You molest your own children, but you ain't fit. Or you was fit to molest your child, though, right? But you ain't fit for prison.
Yeah, this is the so-called white man's heaven.
Yeah.
It's about to turn into this place is about to turn into hell for his ass.
Yeah.
It's gonna be restored back to what it was intended to be, Idon, paradise, man.
That's right.
And so, with that, we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna go back across the street, man. All right. May the Lord kill all you so-called white people.
That's right. That's right.
You and your ghetto gagger girlfriend, okay?
Yeah.
All right, all your black homies, okay? The Lord is gonna destroy all of you, okay? All of you that are joined unto the so-called white man. And may the word of the Heavenly Father be exalted more and more, man.
That's right.
Call halal,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai.
and death to America.
That's right.
Death
Death to the nigga woman.
Shalom to you. Death to the nigga woman.
That's right.
To the nigga woman.
That's right.